So, couple words about me. I'm Hanna, lead DevOps engineer from Intergiro. It's a fintech startup. And I work with different interesting, sometimes not interesting, sometimes difficult, sometimes not things. I'm Google Cloud professional cloud architect, so I definitely know a little bit about Google Cloud. Yep. Also, I'm certified Kubernetes. I have some certifications, but unfortunately, Kubernetes is not topic of today, my speech. We are starting from machine types, families, and resources, and what we can use and how we can configure virtual machines in general. First of all, what is Compute Engine? It's a virtual machine. I know that now is era of Docker containers, of microservices, but before it, all applications, not all applications, but in general, they work on virtual machines. And one feature which is very interesting in Google Cloud that virtual machines can be customized. So you can configure how the CPU and how much memory this virtual machine will have. For example, in AWS, you cannot do such things. Why I am speaking about virtual machines and why it's so important? The main idea is that virtual machines nowadays are used not only for services as a base, but they're used for another tools as not in Google Cloud Kubernetes, not only in Google Cloud, of course, as base for data flow features, for data flow pipelines, and also in different serverless tools. Virtual machines are used too, but we just don't know about it. That's why virtual machines in Google Cloud are very important. In other cloud providers, they're important too. You can see here some popular types of virtual machines. For example, we can see general purpose. So they're the most popular, and they have the biggest number of different features. Also, we have compute optimized and memory optimized. So compute optimized for some hard things like for ML or maybe some game dev features, and memory optimized are for databases and some analytics. Quickly, I want to describe you generations of virtual machines. So there is a first generation of Google Compute Engine, and it was introduced when Compute Engine was launched. These instances were based on all the hardware, and nowadays they are not very popular types to choose for your environment. Second generation represent a significant advancement over the first generation. So these instances offer better performance and other features and more additional features, for example. And the third generation are the latest types of virtual machines. And if you can, the best choice is use third generation and skip first always. Here we can see some more details about types of virtual machines. The main idea is a description of types and where they can be used. For example, year 2 instances can be used everywhere, but they're kind of cheaper and provide less performance than N2 types. When I prepared this speech, I investigated topic what is the biggest difference between N types and year types, and year types are older, and you cannot configure a lot of vCPU and memory for them, and you can configure more resources for N types. Um, Also, we can see here some high-performance virtual machines, Z3, Z3D, and it's third generation, so you can use it for different databases, some game dev, some another tools, and some specific virtual machines. It's about Tau 2D and Tau ARM virtual machines. It's used for some jobs, some pipelines, media transcoding, and we'll talk later more about RM virtual machines in Google Cloud. What about next types? Here we have compute optimized instance. They're used for some server platforms, so you have good performance here. So they're enough popular for different tools. Here we also have storage optimized type, the tree, and you can use it for some tool services when you need very, very quick and fast connection with the database, a lot of EOPS if you know what it means. Also, we have memory optimized for analytics, databases, and some accelerator optimized virtual machine types for GPU, for using for ML, for some machine learning and such other services. We'll talk later more about these types. Now we can see some types of virtual machines and the description. But first of all, we should talk what does it mean here, CPU. CPU platform often offers multiple physical processors, and each of these processors are referred to as a core. For all processors available on a compute engine, a single CPU core can run as multiple hardware multi-thread through SMT. So usually for all virtual machines, virtual machines have two CPU per core by default. And for some types of virtual machines, like ARM machines, VMs always have one vCPU per core. Also, we can see here some types, general purpose and cost optimized, storage optimized. So this documentation is available. I'll attach link in the end of slide, and we can check vCPU it's what about, and we can check limits for these virtual machines. Also, we can check some sole tenancy. Is it possible to set up these virtual machines of one customer on one node only? So, yep. Also, there are some use cases that you can use local SSD, which is very good feature. Maximum size, which persistent disk you can use for different types, and also and other features. What more I can say here? Also, a little bit about network performance, what is very, very important, and some network features. So if you can enable better bandwidth for virtual machines. Also, some another features, sustained use discounts, some cost optimizing tools, and also a little bit about spot virtual machines discounts. Nested virtualization also is it available for these types. Some types of disks I already was here, I think. Yeah. So we are finishing here types, and I didn't talk about all features because it's almost impossible. I suggest you to check it in the documentation, because there are a lot of interesting information, and I cannot tell it to you here. all it. Next slide. Yep, it's about RM virtual machines. I have some questions. Who is working with AWS? Do you use virtual RM machine? Do you have a lot of choice, a lot of types? Yeah. When I prepared this topic for this speech, I was a little bit disappointed because for me, just my opinion, it looks like Google Cloud just to copy paste RM machine type of machine in Google Cloud, but didn't implement something new, some better types of virtual machines, and it's very rare feature. It's difficult to use it everywhere in Google Cloud. I will describe you why. First of all, we can see here some limits. You can the main idea is it's Ampere Ultra IRM processor. Some limits about vCPU and memory, and some problems that only selected regions and zones are available. Here we can see some types. Unfortunately, RM virtual machines, you cannot configure them. You can use only predefined types, and you cannot change nothing here. Also, what about limitations? No custom types, no sole tenant nodes, no necessary utilization. So you can see no local SSD, no Windows, no committed use discounts, no spot virtual machine discounts. And as I remember, IRM virtual machine are not available or won't be available soon in free tier of Google Cloud, so it will be difficult to try it. And also one more limitation: only some regions, some zone, and for example, I cannot use because of it RM virtual machines, but I really want it. GPU accelerated workloads and Google Cloud Compute Engine. So I think you all know what is it. That it's machine families designed by Google Cloud to deliver nested performance and efficiency. And it's used for ML, it's used for high performance computing, and for artificial intelligence. I won't read everything, but it's important information if you want to use and you want to know what's under this virtual machine, what's the base for it. So you can see some types. Even you can see sometimes it's will have end of support. So yep, you can check it in documentation in links which we'll attach. Also, some additional information about virtual workstations for graphic workloads, as accelerated machine types are used for it too. So you can see here that some types, virtual workstation, therefore, and other things. And also Google Cloud provides the best fit for some things, for example, for some models, for some and other tools. And you can always use documentation and choose the best type for your task. As you can see, for high performance computing, you can use whatever, what you think is better for your task, and you can pay for it because these virtual machine types a little bit pricey. Also, GCP Colab GCP has a service called Collab, and it's provided by Google for a lot of researchers and developers around people. Yep. It's a Jupyter notebook-like environment in one single place without any prerequisites. So it was very popular, and Google offers it like a operation system image, and you can just buy it and use it with Google Cloud provided virtual machine. A little bit words about networking. First of all, let's think about traffic in Google Cloud. And the main problem here is egress graphic, not ingress. Inside Google Cloud, you never pay for traffic. Almost never pay. There are some additional tools, additional features for which you should pay, but in general, between inside Google Cloud services, between them, you don't need to pay anything, so you can forget about it. But what about egress traffic? You always need to think about it. It's kind of like a cost-cutting feature all time, because traffic which is going out from Google Cloud, you pay for it, pay a lot. And for example, when I'm trying to cut down costs in my company, or like when I help somewhere, I always check in could we place, for example, traffic between two services, not which shouldn't go through the internet. Also, the main idea that you cannot place source in different regions. In this case, you will pay for it a lot. Also, about network in Google Cloud, I need to say that we have a network Tier 1 networking. It's a special feature which helps using special providers to have quicker, more fast, better communication, for such tools like high-performing computing, machine learning tools. So you just need to pay a little bit more to have better internet, as always. But sometimes it doesn't work. I mean that Tier 1 networking, unfortunately, doesn't work for all types of virtual machines, but for general purpose, you always can choose it. Yeah, my favorite topic, finally. I love to cut down costs everywhere in my life, at work, everywhere. My husband suffers from it, not a problem for me. Here we can see usual plan how to cut down costs in cloud platforms. Not only here, it's more about Google Cloud, but here you can see a lot of ways how to cut down it in other cloud providers. I won't talk about it a lot. Just remember right sizing, it's always a good idea. Some managed services, just check how it works. Some auto scaling, some custom machine types, if it's possible, with your with your provider cloud. Also remove some resources and use spot virtual machines. We'll talk later about it. What is a spot virtual machines and how they're added in Google Cloud. Yep. So we discussed the most popular ideas, but we'll talk more about two features which in general have only Google Cloud. First of all, it's a sustained usage discounts. Okay, it's again not applicable for virtual machines, but this feature is added for general purpose virtual machines, and it means more you use this virtual machine, you have more discounts. And the main idea is that you don't need to enable this feature. It's always included in some types in the biggest part of virtual machine, the biggest part of types virtual machines. Yeah. Here we're talking about preemptible virtual machines, and I have again question about AWS and Spot virtual machines. Somebody is using it? Not a lot. It's strange. Okay, it's a very interesting thing that in the beginning Google Cloud doesn't have Spot virtual machines. They have only preemptible virtual machines, which it means that this virtual machine isn't covered by Google Cloud SLR, and it can work not more than 24 hours. And it's better to use it for some pipelines, for some virtual machines that can be deleted and other things. But you have a lot of discounts, and it's enough cheap. It's more cheap than usual virtual machines. And when I investigated this topic, I found that there are some Spot virtual machines in Google Cloud, and they name it like Spot virtual machines. It's a next version of preemptible virtual machines, but in general, they just copy idea of Spot virtual machines, which can work more than 24 hours. Interesting. Now we need to talk a little bit about extra features for virtual machines. Some popular things which almost all virtual machines have. It's some snapshots, live migration, creating some groups of instances if you need to have a lot of workloads for services. For example, it's a Kubernetes node pool. Also some disks, which are very, very good and fast and quick and reliable, not in one or not all it in one. Also some autoscaling. We'll discuss in details some more features. Live migration virtual machines, it's not possible as I remember in AWS. Please correct me if I am wrong. But before you need you have message from AWS, please stop this virtual machine. We need to move it, and it's always was not interesting, not good idea. For example, I worked in one company where we have thousands of virtual machines, and each day we have such problem. But Google Cloud do it without any problems for you, and you even don't know. And some we have such options like local SSD disks, and if instance is terminated, you can miss this disk. But when there is a process of live migration, the disk will be available, and we won't miss data on this disk. As I said in the beginning, custom virtual machine size, it's a opportunity. It's good. You can, for example, right sizing your virtual machines, your environment. So use it, please. Also, a little bit about security. Confidential virtual machines, more like modern technology, when you can encrypt usable data during the processing phase. And Azure, for example, using for it SGX, Google Cloud collaborated with AMD in the secure encrypted virtualization technology. And a little bit about storage features, because disks are very important for virtual machines. Here we can see 3 different types. There are not all types. We have more types, but in general, we have one of from popular types, local SSD disk. It's ephemeral, but it has good performance. It's very fast. So if you can miss the data, or you can do something with this data and move it to another place. Suggest your local SSD. Persistent disk, it's durable, supports snapshots and most workloads, and also regional, which is more reliable than usual persistent disk. So as usually in your life, you cannot choose in one time fast, cheap, and high quality. You need to choose fast or high quality or durable disk. Okay, local SSD storage. It's about ephemeral disks. I already said, and so use it for precise data, for some data which you can work on it and remove. So it's very good opportunity. But remember, when you terminate instance, you won't see this disk again. So be safe. Also, I added to my presentation, we didn't discuss this with another speakers, but I like this idea that you can connect cloud storage with virtual machines, and nowadays even with Kubernetes nodes. So it's very good idea to connect them, to place some data, so use it too. Unfortunately, there are some limitations, but you can read about the documentation, and I know that it's a good idea, and it's something that, for example, developers from my company and some of my friends are waiting many years. Probably that's all. Do you have questions for me?